Coach Aufrichtig here at the New York Athletic Club. Recently there was a decision to cut the Men's Epee program at the Olympic Training Center. You as an Epee guy, what are you feeling?
So, of course, we're disappointed when people lose hope and belief. Unfortunately, the Men's Epee team has not performed to as well as I know they could. And right now, with the Olympics approaching us, my guess is the U.S. Olympic Committee is putting their money where they feel that there's the best chance of getting medals, but our guys still have a chance.
Now, what is the significance of the program being cut? What exactly is being cut, and what does that mean?
So when we have, they call them beds at the United States Olympic Committee, that means we actually have individuals that could live there, they can train there. Over the years, the fencing facilities have been upgraded. It's really beautiful, the combination between the fencing and modern pentathlon athletes, what they have to train with. Also the food that they receive, and it just helps the athletes be able to focus on their sport and not have to worry about other things. And that's huge.
And so by this cut, what that translates to is these beds that were previously allocated and assigned to these athletes are now being assigned to other sports.
Well, so the technical, what's exactly happening is we still have a certain amount of nights, but what that does is it makes it inconvenient. At one point, technically they were living there, and now we get a certain amount of time, so maybe we'll use it for training camps or different access points for some men's epee to go there and train. But for them to have to move in and out, moving out, I mean, just think if every time you went away for a work trip that you had to move out of your apartment. It's just inconvenient and more things that you have to think about. So it's not good.
So no longer can it really be their residence, rather they can still use it as a resource to supplement their training at different periods throughout the year.
Exactly.
Now, this is also significant to you and has relevance because not only are you the head coach of the Columbia fencing team, but you're also the chairman of the fencing program here at the athletic club. And the two athletes this impacts most are Jason Pryor and Jimmy Moody, also New York Athletic Club athletes. How does this involve you now that their OTC funding is cut?
Well, the New York Athletic Club has been huge supporters of the sport of fencing really since the beginning. The United States Fencing Association was actually founded at the New York Athletic Club. And so the Athletic Club's always been supporting our amateur athletes. And as soon as we heard about it, we've made some arrangements, and we already have both Jimmy and Jason's training schedule worked out. And I really feel, and they really feel, they're even going to be in better hands, here in New York. They have a lot more top fencers to fence with. I mean, we have the gyms. Maybe we don't have some of the resources that's out there in Colorado, but we're going to try to make it an easy transition for them and get them on their way training for Rio. Yeah,
and talking about how this might actually be a better opportunity to get them into the city in this epee hub. I think in the past, Cody Mattern talked about some of his challenges training at the OTC, especially with just two guys, and that's exactly the dynamic or situation that Moody and Pryor had. Now, where will they train here in the city? The men's epee, for the most part, kind of train at Fencers Club, right?
So the great thing is that here in New York, we have a lot of top clubs, with all weapons. And when we specifically talk about epee, really there's two strong clubs. We have the New York Fencers Club, which is combined with the Peter Westbrook Foundation, and then also the New York Athletic Club. And we have a very friendly relationship. I mean, we both, if you watch both teams compete, like at the national championships, they're looking to rip each other's heads off, but that's all in the spirit of good competition. So here, I mean, we trade off. We have some mornings and some evenings at the Fencers Club, and we have some mornings and some evenings here at the Athletic Club. And this way, all of our athletes, I mean, there's Athletic Club, Peter Westbrook Foundation, Fencers Club, but ultimately it's Team USA. So we're all working together for the same purpose.
Yeah, and definitely about that dynamic you described between the PWF team and the NYAC team. Almost every NYAC, it's one, like NYAC white or NYAC red, and PWF, similar story. It's one of those teams in the final. So that showdown is happening almost every NYAC. What are your favorite components of that rivalry, if you will?
Well, this dates back even before I started fencing at the athletic club, which was 25 years ago. And at one point it was Fencers Club Athletic Club. Now, like you said, Peter Westbrook Foundation Athletic Club. And it's exciting because we'll all be practicing together. We're all teammates when it comes to Team USA. But once there's the national championships on the line, it gets rowdy, and there's some smack talking, and there's some maybe some pushing and shoving, but at the end we all hug each other, and we're best friends again. But it's really exciting. I think that's what's helping take Men's Epee up to the next level, pushing each other.
Yeah, and kind of like with this specific topic about things getting heated and it being a dogfight, we're kind of looking at that now with the Men's Epee squad. You talked about some of the disappointment of not maybe living up to expectations. Right now, with the first World Cup of the season in Switzerland concluding last weekend, both Canada and Venezuela finished ahead of Team USA. What can we expect here of how the shift might focus from qualifying a team to qualifying individually?
So within this, the next World Cup really is going to show us if there is a chance or not. And I really hope the guys are able to put together a great result. And it's not that they're not training hard, it's not that they don't have the focus. There's a lot of things, anyone that ever watched Epee, a lot of things could happen. And so I really hope they can put that result together. If they don't, then I really do believe that the guys will stick together to keep raising the level of intensity and training for whoever might be that #1 fencer coming out of the U.S. so that when they do go to the zonal championships, we at least qualify one of our guys.
And with having a few of the guys on the team, few AC guys on the team, with your perspective of the sport and of the qualification process, what do you think is the biggest thing that squad needs to focus on to ensure that they're getting that result you described?
In the team result?
The team result.
Really, one thing is communication and working together, putting together a plan, but having a couple plan Bs and Cs. But I really feel that communication, especially being on a team, is very important. And even in the short period, in the last month, in watching some of their training, hear some feedback some of their training, that communication is becoming a lot more solid. And that's going to help them in the team events.
Yeah, and anyone close to that squad knows how closely knit they are, and I think how much they do try and focus on communication itself. So hopefully we can see that continue to improve and push them closer to Rio.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.